Hey everyone, welcome to the show. You guys can see the side of my, it's whatever. You guys can see the edge of my green screen. That's cool. It's all good. It's kind of, we had to throw this together last minute. Not really last minute. It's just been a crazy, kind of a tough week. But welcome. How you guys doing today? Hopefully your week has been going well. We have tons and tons of news to discuss. Let us know in the chat if you're here. We love to see you guys pop up in the chat. I have my co-host Christian with me, so let's transfer over right now. Are you ready, Christian? Here we go. Here we come. We should be able to see you now.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
They can see me, but they hear me?
I think they can. I think they can hear you. Yeah, in the chat. If you guys just let us know, if you can hear us, that'd be great. How you guys doing out there? Happy Thursday. I'm your host, Tyler Babb. Welcome to the Rendered Image. This is where we talk about everything movies and movie news, and we just nerd out for as long as we possibly can until we get winded and until we have no more water, and then, you guys can go about your merry way. But definitely, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button. It really helps out. If you want to show support, hitting that like button is like the best thing you could possibly do. And also, too, staying around, sticking around, giving your opinions in the chat. All that stuff would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Edith. How you doing? You guys can hear us? We can see and hear you both, she says, so that's good. Hi, Alicia. How you doing? Don't forget to get your water. Brought to you by Gryffindor, a.k.a. Hogwarts. Hogwarts is an unofficial sponsor of the show. I recently got off the phone with them. It looks like who's the headmaster at Hogwarts now? I don't know. I talked to some representative and they said that they would love to be the unofficial sponsor. Basically, they just sent me this mug and then they just send me bottles of water.
Ooh. So we got two sponsors. Water itself is sponsored this video. I took the Harry Potter test, the house test today.
Oh.
I found out that I was Gryffindor. I took it twice. And both times back to back.
Took it twice.
Gryffindor. Yeah, I took it the third time, got Slytherin, but I'm like, all right, I got it back to back, so Gryffindor.
It's a little bit of a mixture. I
got 1% Slytherin. Yeah.
So how's your week been, Christian?
It's been productive. I've been trying to keep up with daily uploads for the daily content, on my channel. And other than that, had a little hiccup this morning with it, but not to worry, I re-uploaded everything and it's still there for your viewing pleasure.
Definitely.
But other than that, I mean, I've been trying to relax before school starts up because I took the summer off, but I'm going to restart up in the fall, which is coming up pretty soon. So I'm trying to get in a lot of relaxed time before that kicks in. That's good. Productivity when it comes to my channel.
That's good. Are you taking 3 classes, or are you taking 4 classes, or what do you do, or do you know?
Not specifically as of right now, but I would like to aim for 4 classes. Cool. Try to get as much done as possible. But it depends on the class. Like, I don't want to have like 2 major, like film classes where I'm doing like,
yeah,
one film here, one film there. It's too much.
Well, yeah, I think that's the worst part is when you have 2 classes that are film based or like heavy project based.
Yeah,
that's the worst because you're splitting yourself between 2 projects, and it's really tough to do because you're juggling multiple roles, usually multiple roles on both projects.
That's true.
Yeah,
because the projects, they start on paper, they start big, crew wise, and then they just like shrink as time goes on. So.
Yeah. It's and then they shrink, and then you end up just being like you and like 2 other people, and you're like, oh, I miss how it used to be on paper, and like, all you see, like, and it's so interesting too because in the filmmaking, or if not filmmaking, but in the film school world, it's like you'll have production meetings and you'll have all these people come at the first couple production meetings, and there'll be a bunch of people, but then as we get closer to the shoot day, the production meetings just kind of lose people. Two or 3 drop off. And you try to be nice, and you try to include like the newer students, you're like, oh, like who's ambitious and who wants to come, be on set.
True.
And that sometimes doesn't always Doesn't always work.
That's the interesting thing about film school too, is because just because they're first year doesn't necessarily mean they lack experience. You know, they could be coming from you know wherever, and they can be however old. You know, and they can seem like a fourth year, but like, no, I'm just starting. I'm in my first year. How am I doing so far?
Yeah.
They look at you and ask you like, oh, okay, because you really put off like, wow, you know a lot. You know, so that's one of the beauties, hidden beauties a little bit, because you can find a new batch of personalities, I think, every year. So
yeah, I mean, it is a great place to meet different types of people, and there's a sense of like experimentation,
right?
You know, and it is cool. Like I enjoy watching people kind of evolve as artists. I think that's something that's super. There's not a ton of pressure in terms. I mean, we all put pressure on ourselves, obviously, because we want to make the best content we possibly can. But it's like in the scope of things, it's like, no, we're in school. Like we're allowed to try things and you know, swing for the fences. But ultimately, obviously, you want to pass your classes. But like, it's just constant lessons of like, yeah, the thing that you were wanting to make isn't quite gonna happen the way you thought it was. So
yeah. I mean, especially with multiple heads, man. If multiple heads come on board and they're like, hey, let's try this out. Like you said, experimenting, you know, that comes from different opinions, you know. And if they sell it to you the right way, it sounds really good. And you're like, oh, I feel like I would be kicking myself in the ass later down the road if I didn't go with it. So do we have time to do it? You know, and you try to just cram it into a very tight schedule. Yeah. And that's where you kind of have to like battle yourself. Yes or no? What do you got to, it's like editing the film already. All right, what are we going to shoot? All right, we only got so much time.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a lot of things to balance, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
For sure. I've been pretty good. This week has been, had its ups and downs. Had a family thing happen and had to take care of that, so that was kind of rough. And but other than that, you know, it's good. Freelance work has been happening, so that's, you know, I'm thankful for that. You know, that can bring in money that way, and that's, you know, that's good.
Steady enough.
My thesis, scheduling conflicts happened with my thesis, so we just had to push that off, and I had to attach myself to someone else's project to help them. And so, but we're going to save what we were going to do for the thesis. We're just going to make as our own project after school. So,
okay. So if you jump onto someone else's thesis and help them out, would that count as your thesis then?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, I mean, doing it on your own, man, you know, whatever, because there's a lot of great ideas that go through that school and they never get the green light, you know? So it's like, oh, that would still be so cool for you to do, you know? So yeah, doing it afterwards is awesome.
Yeah, that's my plan, for sure. But yeah, with that out of the way, that's the jump right into our first topic.
Oh,
bam. Look, it's LeBron James and the Looney Tunes. So I did go see Space Jam. I went to the theater to see it.
Nice.
And I wasn't able to post my review, so I figured I'd just do it on the show. So here's my official review of Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Did you see it in IMAX?
Was it an IMAX experience? Did not see it in IMAX. No, I did not.
All right.
All right. So how did I feel about this movie? It was hard to. I think it's personally hard for me, and maybe anybody in my generation, but it's so hard, I think, to separate the nostalgia factor going into this movie. Because I was hyped, but I was hyped purely on my nostalgia of the first one.
Right. And
the Michael Jordan and growing up, and we discussed this on the last episode, but, you know, how I had all the toys and all this other stuff. Like, that was, you know, it was a good portion of me growing up. So this one just didn't hit it. And I wasn't like excited or hyped. And then it built over time. And as we got closer, it built and built. And I was like, oh, well, maybe it, like I psyched myself out. I thought, oh, well, maybe it does have the ability to like be really good. And yeah, no, it kind of let me down. I got a little too hyped for it. I just think LeBron doesn't do it for me as the person that's supposed to carry you through the film. And also,
Yeah.
two, Warner Brothers does not believe in the Looney Tunes, even though the Looney Tunes are the best part of this movie.
Very true. Yeah.
I mean, they rely so much on. I think they try. Honestly, I think they tried too hard. Because if you look at the first movie, it's a very simple plot. They don't really like. They don't bog it down. It's goofy. Like the first movie, of course, is goofy, but it knows what it is. This one, I think, had an identity crisis where they were trying to be goofy and they were trying to be like the first one, but they didn't lean into the Looney Tunes. They keep like making fun of the property in its own movie, which I thought was really weird. You know, like they call them like the rejects, and they're like, "Oh, go to Toonland," and like nobody cares about Toonland. That felt weird to me. I was like, no, these Looney Tunes are beloved characters. I'm like, yeah, the new generation might not have the fondness for them, but they're still like legitimately like comedic gold. Like they're great characters. So that felt really weird to me that in their own movie they're called rejects, and I'm like, that felt weird. And I think they missed the whole plot was completely wrong. Like they had Bugs, right? And Bugs in the first movie it was, we have a problem, we need to help us solve our problem, we need to get Michael Jordan. That was the premise of the first one. I think they should have had the same exact premise for this one. And it would have probably been like a straight ripoff, but it still would have worked. The Looney Tunes needed the help of LeBron. And they kind of do in a way. It's so strange because if you think about it, it's like, oh, LeBron needs the Looney Tunes. But then it flips, and then Al G is like, if you don't win this basketball game, all the tunes are going to be deleted. And it's like, wait a minute, so the tunes did need LeBron's help. It's not the other way. It's like, LeBron doesn't need the tunes.
That was like a last minute write-in, obviously kind of like amp up the stakes. Like, oh, by the way,
right? And
I forgot to say the tunes can disappear.
And it doesn't make any sense in the writing that they're in the server verse, and like LeBron is trying to make a team, but they don't get Superman, and they don't get Batman, and they don't get King Kong. Like there's all these other people that would definitely make the team. And like they went to I'm going to kind of rip on this movie, but they went to Themyscira and they got Lola Bunny. They didn't get Wonder Woman. Like, come on, man. Like you could have had a whole team of Themyscira women and you probably would have won the basketball game.
True. But I mean, to try to like, maybe to like make the Looney Tunes the focus, they had to make them a part of the game. So throwing in characters like Batman and Superman, all over. Like, imagine if you got like Trinity from Matrix too.
Yeah,
it was on the board,
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't work with the current with the setup that they had. If the tunes needed LeBron, then we wouldn't be worrying about all these other Warner Brothers properties. But because LeBron comes to their universe and needs to put together the best team, it just logically doesn't make sense that he would be cool with the tunes. Now, I do love the subplot, which they didn't go into deep enough, and they kind of treat it as a joke at the end of the movie. I thought Bugs' subplot was amazing. And the fact that he wanted to get his family back, that was amazing. That should have been the center of the movie. That's how you should have opened it. Include LeBron in there, I guess, if you want to, somehow, whatever. Like, I guess, like, oh, it's like, it would have been not the way that I would have done the movie is I would have had Bugs open the film and Al G come out and be like, I'm basically gonna like or make up some sort of lie or something where all the tunes abandon Bugs, right? Some sort of lie. And Bugs is telling everybody to come back, and then Bugs spends years or whatever alone. But then he gets this great idea of challenging Al G to a basketball game, whatever, sort of almost exactly like the first one, but I wouldn't have cared. Because I care about Bugs. I care about Bugs way more than I care about like billionaire LeBron and his son going to game developer camp. I care about Bugs. I empathize with because we all know what it's like to like have friends that we get astray from and we don't talk to as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like we miss old friends. I can relate to that. I cannot relate to a billionaire and his son talking about whether or not he wants to go to basketball camp or video game camp. Like that doesn't like, and so I don't know. I had very, very, very big issues with the movie. Tried to have fun, but and the cameos were treated like a montage, and it was, I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Anyways,
it was just like very quick.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought obviously it wasn't the strongest film. I mean, I was going in, I kept my expectations pretty minimum. You know, I didn't have that nostalgia factor like I mentioned before because I saw the movie a little later.
Yeah.
But going into it, I was like, at least try it. Let's try to have like a fun movie. You know, if this could get me to genuinely laugh at least once, twice, it kind of somewhat did its job. It entertained me, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it got me a little bit. You know, there's times here and there I'm like, oh, that's hilarious, you know. But overall, like you mentioned, the plot, weak, man, very weak. And LeBron as a leading man, sadly, doesn't really click.
Right.
You know, he's an athlete.
I
mean, it's kind of like, yeah, like you said, the first one, you know, how you point out how the tunes need the athlete rather than the other way around. So to kind of like expand on your idea is like, what if the Looney Tunes, the rest of them are gone, Bugs is alone, and then he searches for LeBron, but then they need an entire team. So that's where you throw in all your characters. You know, you got your Wonder Woman, you got your
and why
bring them all in later. So it can be like Bugs Bunny, LeBron, and a roster of characters. That would have been pretty cool.
But and why didn't they? This is another thing too. It's like it's all Warner Brothers properties. So why didn't you use Wonder Woman? Why didn't you use a version of Superman?
Mm-hmm.
Like you own the characters. Why weren't they on the court? Like I don't understand. I mean, I know it's a Looney Tunes or Space Jam.
It's not like they're asking those actors to come back and portray like the live action actors. Not like they're asking like, hey, come out and voice this for this movie.
Yeah.
You know? I can see like no to that, but like to the characters themselves, you're right. It's free reign, man. Come on.
Yeah. What's going on, Tyson? Welcome to the stream. Hi, Mandy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and there were some moments. I thought Don Cheadle's acting was. I liked his character. I loved how he was chewing it. He was chewing the scenery hard. He was. I liked his character. I was like, all right, cool. And there were moments where we've talked about this before, but having a villain, and I feel like he straddled this line, but having like a really threatening villain where you feel like, oh man, this guy means business. I felt like towards the end of the movie, he got there.
Right.
To where he felt, he felt threatening, but I didn't really take him seriously up until like the final moments of the movie. And then I was like, oh, there's your true evil side. Okay, this should have been from the beginning.
This is what should have been presented to us.
And again, the whole Al G's motivation, like, oh, LeBron called my idea dumb. I was like, come on. Like, really? Like,
gonna hold on to that.
Yeah, so
I mean, for the most part, he was just an asshole throughout the movie. That was like the most intimidating he got. He was an asshole, just like a snarky. He didn't let you get a word in. It's always him. He's right, But yeah, like you said, I wish it carried on throughout. We need scary villains, man. We need to terrify some kids, traumatize them just a little.
Traumatize.
Yes, for them to grow naturally. Trauma's a part of natural growth.
So, and I wonder too. I wonder if they're gonna get a sequel. I don't know. It did really well at the box office, I think. From what I saw, it did okay. I think. I don't know.
It doesn't really need a sequel, but I mean, whatever really, if it re-sparks something with the Looney Tunes and it comes to leads to a better movie, let's bring it on, man. Let's get a good Looney Tunes movie, Let's dust ourselves off. This is the movie where you dust yourself off, all right? You got all the bad ideas out.
Right.
Let's try the other ideas,
Let's separate. Well, how about we move on to the next topic? Because that's about all I got to say about Space Jam. I think it's worth an HBO Max watch if you got kids, for sure. I would definitely recommend watching it with them.
Yeah, I feel like kids will have fun with this.
Yeah. Boom. Oh, Tyler, we're going into the multiverse, guys. Going into the multiverse. Going in.
Maybe like a scuba goggles and stuff like that. Snorkel. We're going deep, man.
So the reason why I pulled this up on the show tonight is because the director of Loki did an interview where she described basically what's happening in this image. Now, spoiler warning, obviously, for the show.
It's been out.
It's been out. On this show, we tend to stay pretty topical about what's been going on. So we, if it's just spoilers. So this is the multiverse basically breaking. So the TVA, which we can't explain everything, but the TVA is basically an organization that like keeps all of the timelines in order and in check. Well, at the end of Loki, as hopefully majority of us know, the multiverse breaks open. So these timelines start to branch out, which is what's happening here in the photo. The director basically did an interview where she explained what's going on here. And how we see it is these basically branches that are branching off of the main branch here. So there's a bunch of different little branches that are branching out, and then we have trunks. I guess these would be technically the trunks, and then we have smaller branches that are kicking out from these trunks. And how she described it is, say for instance, one of these the main thread is, say this is, I'm going to use Spider-Man for an example because that's the one that's coming up the most, or the most recent one. So the main one is Tom Holland and our main MCU. And then we have a branch that kicks off. That is what would have been, or what is, say, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi's universe. Okay, so that's now splitting off. The TVA was in control and making sure that all of these different alternate timelines and universes were all flowing at the same time and at the same speed and at the same rate and in the same direction. But now that that's all disbanded, or we don't honestly really know what's happened to the TVA. But clearly they're not in charge of keeping these in line anymore. It's not happening. So, the Tobey Maguire verse is branching off, and then say another one of these is the Andrew Garfield universe. That's another branch. And then obviously it keeps expanding to where we have these like little mini branches that are going to come off. Well, those are eventually going to intersect with the other trunks. And so that's where you're going to get multiverse madness happening, basically, is what she described. So
loops back around.
So when we see, for instance, Dr. Octopus from Sam Raimi's universe or Electro from the Andrew Garfield universe pop into Tom Holland's world, that's basically what's happening here, is those smaller branches are intersecting with the trunks of the other universes. So now this also brings into question, I have a question for you, Christian. What's happening at the end of Loki? Obviously, we see some version of the TVA, right?
Yes.
Loki comes into contact, or he's thrown into a different alternate TVA. If these branches are happening, then what is the function of the TVA now? Since they aren't keeping it's like they're clearly not keeping all of these in line, then what is the TVA responsible for?
I think since everything went haywire, there might be multiple TVAs now, and each one of them could try not to, they're probably trying to keep some sort of continuity from their timeline in order. They know stuff has gone haywire, and they're like, there's only so much we can control.
Mm-hmm.
However, looking deep in the files, I found there's a handful of things that we can still manage to make happen, to try to keep some type of cohesiveness in our timeline.
Right.
I could probably see someone doing that, some side character coming up to Owen Wilson and mentioning that to him or something, or him himself, Mobius himself, would probably dig deep, and the fact that he doesn't know him makes me think that this is a different version of TVA.
Yeah.
Or somehow, some way, it's a butterfly effect, and this is the same Mobius, but since there's a whole multiversal catastrophic event happening right now where it's all branching off, there could be a butterfly effect somewhere in the past on a certain timeline where Loki and Mobius never meet, and
Yeah.
that could affect present day Mobius. That could be it. That could be it, or it could be like this is a whole different, staying with the whole variant idea. This is a whole different TVA in general. You know?
Now, did we see what happened? Did we see what happened to Mobius? Our Mobius, or did we just leave him?
The last thing we saw was they said their goodbyes, and he went through the portal back to the TVA, his TVA.
Right.
You know, because he still needed to confront Judge Renslayer.
Right. And he did
still
that.
Needed to confront her. He did that.
But she left him, right? And then we never went back to him?
That's true. Yeah, we never went back to him. He was still stuck there.
So maybe he's in search for Loki now. Maybe he's going to hop multiverses to try to find Loki in season 2.
Yeah, our Mobius. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could possibly get a Mobius versus Mobius fight next season.
Ooh.
To kind of mirror Captain America versus, himself. That'd be pretty cool.
On some jet skis.
On jet skis, yes. Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be like the main event for that season 2.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But are you excited for the MCU moving forward? Are you worried that things are going to get too convoluted?
I feel like they're gonna I'm excited because I'm wondering what type of things they're delving into, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What other types of stories they want to tell. How dark are they going to get? I mean, MCU got dark a little bit when they did that whole Netflix deal. Marvel and Netflix, and did the whole Defenders run.
Yeah. Beautiful
work over there, guys. Why not swing them back into the loop? Like they could be, I guess a branched multiverse,
This might be a way to do it.
Exactly, because I really love that storytelling in those series. That dramatic, episodic storytelling that a lot of cable television started, like HBO, and Showtime. You see those type of formulaic shows on there. So when the fact that they brought him over to Daredevil just works masterfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's a law show, basically. It's a law drama show, but it's also a vigilante.
Yes.
So that was really awesome. So I wish they can. I'm excited to see more of that. What else can they tell? There's a whole plethora of characters. I'm particularly excited for Ghost Rider. Didn't really like how they did him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know it's a different version, but I want to see Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider maybe come back in some form, some way.
Yeah.
I'm not too opposed to Nick Cage returning because it is a multiverse now. So they can get Nick Cage's Ghost Rider back in the loop if they really wanted.
They probably can. Okay, so Multiverse of Madness real quick and then we'll move on. But Multiverse of Madness, bro. I want them to pull out all the stuff. Dude, yeah. You have to think about it, and it's like, obviously they have a budget, right? Like they can't pay all these. It'd be awesome if we had all these actors from all these movies come in and make a cameo, but that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money you got to pay all these actors to come back, and you know what I'm saying? If you're pulling in Fox X-Men and if you're pulling in Nick Cage, it's a lot of money.
It'd almost be like Infinity War Endgame level almost, because you're calling in so many people.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come on, let's get in. Money-wise,
Right.
Not story-wise, but money-wise, it'd be like, this is a lot, Do we have to... I mean, Marvel has the budget.
I mean, yeah, Disney Marvel definitely has the budget, but there are caps to how much you can spend.
I do still want an Ash cameo, man. Sam Raimi, Ash. Gotta have one, man. Marvel Zombies, that he could be in the Marvel Zombies universe killing something. And he's like what if he's beheading Doctor Strange and it's our Doctor Strange that goes in, he's like, oh, it's gonna be like, that would be so awesome. Great fan service, man. I want that. I'm hoping that we see, it's just too much money, man. But yeah, I'm hoping, dude, if we see the Joaquin Phoenix version of Doctor Strange that we almost got, that'd be crazy. I would, dude. Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix, Doctor Strange, Tom Cruise, Iron Man, and John Krasinski, Captain America. If they're an alternate universe and they pop in, that'd be awesome. Right. And they'll be like the Battle of New York or something, or the woods, the scene in the woods, because that involves just them three from the first Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. They could reenact some type of scene that people are familiar with, and that'll be pretty cool. Like the what if type, big what if, what if they cast these actors? That's so awesome. Oh, speaking of what if,
This wasn't like in the notes, in the show notes or anything, but it's rumored that Haley Atwell's Captain Carter, that's going to be in What If, her version of Captain America.
Yeah.
She's going to play that version in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, wow. Nice. Get her live action.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
always thought, like, what was the problem with not having her live action? So, I mean, that was pretty cool.
No, yeah. Because it was reported that the What If show is actually canon. So.
Ah, nice. Nice. So, Marvel Zombies is there, man. I would love to, like, focus in on, like, the Marvel Zombies universe somehow, some way. Bigger than a What If animated episode. Like,
yes.
Like that live action. That'd be so cool. I also think, what if Deadpool comes out in the Multiverse of Madness?
Dude, yes.
Best way to introduce them.
That's the best way to put him in the universe for sure. You know?
Yeah.
Well, so, sorry, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say it would be awesome if he, like, was actually, like, you think he's a cameo or, like, a last-minute post-credit scene, but he just, like, what if it would be cool if he had, like, something to do with the plot? So he, like, teams up with them, and he's, like, their wild card or something. Yeah, I want to see that from Marvel.
That would be awesome.
Let's do that, you know, something like that.
This was, I don't know how legit this was, but apparently for the third Deadpool movie, they had wrote the third Deadpool movie before Disney bought Fox, and apparently it was rumored that it was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Ooh.
It was a play on the comic run where he kills all the Marvel heroes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I'm wondering if whatever next Deadpool movie they're making, I wonder if that has anything to do with the third Deadpool movie in the MCU.
That I don't think Disney would have.
I don't think Disney would do that either.
They would not do it. That's a lost project that we're not going to have.
I mean, yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Kevin Feige and Ryan Reynolds in the CEO of Disney, and they're just trying to pitch this idea to the corporate office, and they're like, okay, no, so we're gonna have Ryan and his Deadpool are gonna kill all of our heroes.
Right.
Can you imagine that pitch meeting? I'm sure all the CEOs are like, you want to do what?
No.
You want to kill?
We can't sell a toy with Spider-Man's head blown off.
You can't have you cannot kill our heroes like that. What? And then you're just like, you're trying to tell the Disney executives, like, no, trust me, this is going to be huge.
Right.
No, that'll never fly.
I bet like, you can kill them off, but maybe not in a gory way, and they have to come back. Like, contract-wise, people have to come back.
Of course.
And so yeah, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe is a gore fest, dude. That has to be rated R.
Yeah.
Nothing but, you know? So, and of course, like I mentioned before, like, I love that. I feel like in Loki, that little homage when they showed Throg in the jar, and the hammer. I thought that was at first glance, I thought it was a smaller version of Thor. You know, that universe is Thor, and I thought they just trapped him in a jar to make to imprison him and belittle him. You know, So I thought that whole imagery of the hammer being bigger than him really reminded me of Deadpool kills Marvel Universe. He uses the pin particles to enlarge Mjolnir. So when he retreats it, when he calls it back, it just crushes him instantly. It's like a huge skyscraper, like a comet coming at him and shit. And it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
Let's see here. Tyson in the chat says, Disney making an R-rated movie. I don't see that happening. I disagree. I think they will. Eventually, I think they will.
They did disconnect themselves with the Netflix series. Like, they're like, they're not gonna, a little bit towards the end there, they weren't really like trying to connect them in there.
That's true.
Like, there was early rumors saying that they had plans to try to bring them into Infinity War when everything went chaotic in the streets. So after Tony comes out of the Sanctum Sanctorium with Bruce and Strange, they run into like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones helping civilians here and there. That's awesome. What I heard. That was like a rumor that was like an original plan to kind of tie it all in, but they took them out entirely because for some odd reason, I think they don't want to go that dark route, but hopefully soon they might go that route.
I think they will eventually. But yeah, we will have to see what happens. Again, obviously, we are in hot anticipation for Spider-Man No Way Home and the trailer that is supposed to drop, hopefully, within the next 2 weeks. If we don't, it's supposed to come out before What If, which is August 11th. If we don't get a trailer before What If we don't get a trailer in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to lose my mind. Come on. Come on, Disney. Come on.
You're gonna see the trailer when you go and see the movie. It's the
it's gonna be the movie that never has a trailer, just to torture me. And
what if I remember Adam Driver mentioning this back with Star Wars. He said, "What if there wasn't a trailer?" I think it was when Last Jedi was coming out. He said, "What if there wasn't a trailer for the movie and people just went to go see it based off them knowing that it's Star Wars. It's the next Star Wars movie. What more do you need to know? Go in and be surprised."
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, well, so what if this next Spider-Man movie, what if they do that with this next Spider-Man movie? No trailer, go in and be surprised. Because this story is, if the rumor is true about the plot, this story's pretty massive. And I think any little snippet would be spoilery. They're going to have to spoil something in the trailer, you know?
The only reason why I don't think that'll ever happen is because one thing that I always keep in mind is we are in like this bubble of like movie nerds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are that Spider-Man's even coming out in December. That's what the trailers are used. It's to get the general people who have no idea, who just see the TV spot or see it pop up on their Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's where their marketing dollars go, and that's why. So we're gonna get it. It's going to happen at some point because I know they want to bring in the normal people who aren't hyped for this as much as I am. So it's going to come.
They needed to cast the net. And they'd be dumb not to.
And
right. That's hilarious.
And like we said last week, it could be bad. The movie could suck, and that would be very disappointing. So let's pray and hope that it doesn't suck.
Even if it sucks, I hope they give us enough fanfare to like really blind us from it. It's not until like our second or third rewatching we're like, oh, this is not that good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you guys are new here, please don't forget to drop a like. Dropping a like helps so much, helps kick out the stream, helps show everybody and tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy the show. And yeah, I mean, it definitely just helps to show your support in that way. You can also interact in the chat. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and being nerdy with us. All right, Christian, are you ready to go on to the next topic?
Yes. Oh, we got one dislike. That's how we know. That's how you know we're getting views.
One dislike. Okay, that's fine. That's all good. We'll take that. All right, here we go. Dune. All right, we're going to talk about this Dune trailer. If you guys didn't know, the trailer, what did they call it? The main trailer? Is that what they called it?
The official trailer.
The official trailer. It's like 3 minutes long. It's 3 minutes long, and it's for Denis Villeneuve's Dune. And holy cow, this looks incredible.
Yeah.
You guys definitely need to check out this trailer. I mean, this is by far the best trailer of the year, hands down. For me, until Spider-Man, but this is definitely the best trailer.
Until Spider-Man. Yeah.
Like Spider-Man has a bar to live up to now. Honestly, like I thought, oh yeah, Spider-Man's gonna be my favorite trailer, blah blah blah. This blew me away. Spider-Man has a big shoes to fill. This could easily walk away as being the best trailer of the year for me. I was blown away by this because I don't know anything about Dune. I haven't read the book. I haven't seen the David Lynch movie, so I don't know anything about this. I'm going to try to go into this completely fresh.
Honestly, no better way to be introduced to this world than through this adaptation, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, same like you. I knew of Dune. I never read it, never sat down and got into it at all. I didn't even know the main character's name was so simple as like Paul. I thought it was going to be like, you know, something so like dramatic, you know, like Luke Skywalker or something like so sci-fi and out there, but it's just Paul. I found that hilarious. You know, but regardless of that, this trailer, like you said, really, really epic. This is like just giving us like what trailers need to do. Give us a taste of what the movie's going to be like. Beautiful cinematography. I mean, that's in all of his films, honestly.
Yes.
You know, beautiful cinematography. He knows the world. I mean, the world feels real. Like everything feels authentic. Nothing looked fake. Well, I mean, I think the last shot with Timothy in the suit kind of looked a little off, but that's it. You know, that's really awesome for like modern day films. There's like a lot of CGI use, so I feel like a lot of this was practical. You know.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that care and effort put into the costumes, wardrobe. I don't know if the contact lenses are all blue. I don't know if that's digital, if they're actually contact lenses. But kudos to the actors if they were contact lenses, because I heard it gets annoying after a while. This looks really, really awesome.
I couldn't help but thinking to myself as I watched this trailer over and over and over again, like, this is what the new kind of bummed that this isn't like, but also too, I've also realized maybe this is the new Star Wars. Because Dune came out, the book came out when? When did the book come out? I mean, this has been a property for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, my history teacher in high school, he would always talk about like Dune. Every time we would talk about like sci-fi stuff and fantasy stuff, he would always loop back around to Dune. And I'm like, the '80s movie, the one that David Lynch. He's like, no, not that one. He's like, not that the book. He's like, if you ever get around to reading the book, my lord, he even told me it could be the next Star Wars if done right, you know. And this was like probably 5 to 6 years ago now, you know.
Yeah.
And so to finally see it, man, I wonder. I hope he's doing well, because I'm pretty sure he's pretty hyped for this movie. I would love to like hear like his thoughts on this movie. That'd be so cool. You know?
Bet.
But they did it, man. This looks awesome.
It looks like, or you know what? So it came out in 1965, which was a little bit over 10 years before Star Wars. And then the David Lynch movie came out in 80 something.
80s for sure. That was like a very 80s.
84.
Yeah.
So too, a lot big, because this is supposed to be a trilogy or just like a series of films. Like, this is supposed to be the first in a series of films, if not a trilogy. And what this reminded me of was very much so is like Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's very much like the Fellowship of the Ring in kind of in a strange way, where it's like, you know, the Paul character is like Frodo and you have to go defeat the, you know, obviously hints of Star Wars, hints of Lord of the Rings, but like, I wonder, could this be, and also too, I would love for this to be a trilogy, because it seems like for the last decade, we've been in this whole system of like, everything has to be a cinematic universe, and everything has to have like multiple movies that tie into each other. I would really, yes, I would really love for something just to have a standalone trilogy, a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3 that can just live on your shelf, just like the Lord of the Rings trilogies, just like the Star Wars trilogies. I kind of want to get back to that format of storytelling.
Very true. I like it. And also, can we get a tie-in game to it? Because I'm a 2000s kid, man. I love tie-in games when I was younger, you know? But it'd be so awesome. But anyway, they do all these spin-off sequels and prequels, and they love prequels for sure. TV shows, but they don't do the video game tie-in. That's swing and a miss right there for me. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this Dune movie. Would it be a trilogy? I would love for it to be a trilogy too. Or what if it's just one film? I highly doubt it, but what if it's just one great epic freaking film? Like, it's 3 hours long.
It could be.
It's like, yeah, settle
awesome.
in, because this is going to be awesome, you know?
That'd be awesome.
A lifetime experience. But of course, sequels.
Okay.
If you work magic once, you want to do it again.
Matthew says, greetings from St. Louis. Greetings, Matthew. How you doing? You are down there as the latest subscriber, so we are shouting you out there. How you doing? And then also Jargu, I can't say that. Jargangu, or I can't say your name.
Jarnagawa. I don't know.
But you say that the Dune movie is the first half of the book Dune. So
there we go.
Thank you for schooling us, because we know nothing about this. But that's honestly kind of how I want to go. I want to go into it blind. I really want to see. I want this world to be presented to me through this movie.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna end in a cliffhanger, it has to, right? If they're gonna have a second half,
If it's
right?
only, I guess, yeah, if it's only the first half of the book, like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call you Jar. But if what Jar is saying is it's only the first half, so
It should end in something like leaving you wanting more, you know?
yeah. Now I wonder, Jar, do you know if is it gonna be two movies then? Is the second movie gonna be the second half of the book? Or are they gonna split the second half into two movies? Or do you know anything
Are they
about
doing
that?
It? Are they going with an it?
Are they going
Just
with an
two parts
it's?
and that's it.
Are they going with an it's? But anyways, no, I think this looks awesome, dude. I'm so excited. This comes out a week before my birthday.
Nice.
Actually it's a great birthday present. So
It makes up for the Batman because it was supposed to come out around this time too. I think like its second release date that it got pushed back to.
yeah, the Batman was supposed to come out, but if this takes the place of the Batman, I'm totally cool with it, man. Bring it on.
Good substitute because they were gonna battle each other in the box office. I remember people were like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good," but then Batman got pushed back. So
Speaking of box office, for us, so to wrap this topic up, how do you think it's going to do?
I think it's gonna do well. Maybe it's not gonna hit $1 billion. If it does, holy crap! I don't think it might hit $1 billion, but it's gonna rank in a few million, I believe, because I believe there's a good enough fan base around the book, and then the old '80s movie. There's again that nostalgia factor's there for a lot of people, book and classic movie. And even if the movie doesn't hold up today, it's still probably they have fond memories watching it, you know. So they're still gonna come and see this new take on their childhood. So I think it's gonna hit in the millions, but maybe not break the billion bracket, you know, to really try to like, yeah, it's not gonna be like Star Wars money, but it's gonna make its money.
I'm curious. I'm going to look at, I'm going to see how many views does the trailer have.
That's always a good way to tell too.
I'm very curious. We're going to go on Warner Brothers.
Like this is like one of those movies where I kind of don't want to see on
Is
HBO
that
Max. I want to go to a theater.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, that's not good at all. Hold on. That's really bad if that's the case. So the first the first trailer that came this is straight from Warner Brothers YouTube. The first trailer that came out got 34 million, which is pretty good.
Nice.
Not great, because I think like Suicide Squad, and I'm sure we could look up the Jackass trailer. I'm sure those have
Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
Okay.
But so the current one only has 7,000 views on Warner Brothers YouTube.
Really? Only 7,000?
Yeah, that's what is kind of surprising.
Interesting.
But that's only on the Warner Brothers. If we go to the Hollywood Reporters YouTube, they have 2,000 views. IGN has 2,038,000 views. And then Entertainment Weekly's YouTube has 38,000. So still doesn't look like there's a lot of interest in this movie.
Wow. I mean, hopefully more people see the trailer and that shit turns around, because that trailer made this movie look really cool.
This looks awesome, dude. This looks so cool, but
Very much so.
I don't know if it's going to take off like that or not, but
yeah, people aren't fond of getting into new stuff when they're already accustomed to other stuff already. They're like, no, nothing. I want to stick with my usual characters. Yeah. Especially like you said before, everything is trying to connect and make a universe of itself. So people are getting more attached to characters than ever before. So trying to jump into something else new, you know, it's like, okay, is this going to have long-lasting purpose? Because this is going to be something in my life for like 10 years from now, you know? So I need this, you know. So yeah, that's also pressure there too.
But let's move on to the next topic. Boom. HBO Max has officially cast its Batgirl. We have Batgirl news, and then we have Flash news that we're also going to talk about. We can't show you the behind the scenes photos of that, but oh boy, were they hot and were they looking awesome. So it's reported by Deadline that HBO Max is officially making a Batgirl movie with the directors of Bad Boys for Life.
Huh. I didn't know that part.
So It's apparently it's going to be an exclusive HBO Max movie, exclusively on HBO Max, and they did just cast Leslie Grace as their Batgirl, and Leslie Grace is the co-starring lead role in The Heights, which I thought she did a really great job in that movie. And it's reported that this is going to be its own thing, so they're going to cast a completely new James Gordon. It's not going to be Jeffrey Wright. It's going to be somebody completely different. It's a complete solo.
That's what I thought.
Complete solo movie on HBO Max. So
I'm not gonna watch it. No, no, go ahead.
I don't really know when this is. I think they're supposed to start shooting later this year. I think in November. I think in November is when they start actually shooting the movie, from what I remember hearing. How do you feel? Are you excited about this?
Hearing that it's a standalone, I don't know, man. It's like we gotta I feel like Batgirl, the character of Batgirl, was always someone we had to build up to. Like we have if we have our standard Batman, we would love to see him train Robin, that turns into Nightwing, and then trains Barbara, that turns into Batgirl. You know, so I always envision these characters being introduced to the public with proper build-up, you know, kind of like what Marvel's doing, of course. But as a standalone, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what kind of story they are going to tell. Hopefully, maybe not so because it's too popular, but maybe what if this is like a subtle adaptation of The Killing Joke, you know, or something that's probably going to lead up to something like that, you know? And I hope it's a dark take. If it's not, please don't be like Birds of Prey or like Suicide Squad trying to follow that trend that Harley Quinn's doing. No, don't do that. Please.
You're throwing it back to the early days.
Dark. Yeah, no, please be dark. Or not dark, but dark enough to where you're there's stakes here and this world feels dirty and gritty because it's Gotham and we root for her to fight the villain. They're very terrifying, rated R villain. You know?
Well, it'd be interesting to see too, budget wise, because obviously if you look at the the TV show Gotham or the CW shows,
right, it's
where does it lie? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get more money in the budget than a TV show. But are they? I mean, are they going to dump up as much money as they would on a Suicide Squad or one of their big movies? I wonder.
If this isn't gonna lead to anything, then maybe not. However, Joker tells another story because Joker did really well, and as of right now, they said there's a sequel, but to our knowledge, I don't think he's gonna be in a Batman movie anytime soon. That version, you know. So he's gonna stay isolated, maybe in his own world, which I think sucks. But oh well, you know. But to see the success of a standalone movie like Joker, I think that's what they're taking this risk with Batgirl. They're rolling the dice again with Batgirl and seeing if people will latch onto it and see if they can work magic again. Because they're staying within that Batman realm. It's not like they're doing a Supergirl movie, which that would be pretty cool if they kind of did a subtle, soft remake and new adaptation. But Batgirl has a lot of rich storytelling as well, and it stays within the Batman universe. So you can also build up, of course, side characters like Joker could be a subtle hint that you can make in this movie, and then that'll lead to a whole new casting of a new Joker if you really wanted to, you know, get that crazy with it. But budget is everything. I really wonder how much they're going to put into it. But I think maybe not as much as a Justice League or a Suicide Squad. Maybe they'll give them a relatively decent budget and see how much they can do with that. Joker wasn't as big of a budget compared to bigger superhero films, but it's still racked in a lot, you know. So maybe that's what they're gonna do similar here. So hopefully that doesn't lead to cheap costumes, because I always think of Titans, that show Titans, and my lord, I'm if you like the show, I'm sorry, but no, it's a no for me, man. I got to do a Randy Jackson from American Idol. It's a no for me, dog. I can't do that.
It's a no for me, dog.
No, especially what they did with Red Hood. Red Hood looks very foamy. It looks like I've seen better cosplay.
Oh, really?
Let's just put it like that.
I don't watch the show. So.
Yeah, me either. I just seen promo and I'm like, because I love the Teen Titans.
But I think you're right. I think they will go the Joker route. I think they, spend as little money. And that just sounds bad, but not really. Spend as little money as they possibly can, and obviously, but keep the quality. And then yeah, hopefully it's a. I think she's a great casting. I think she looks great. I think she can pull off the character. Now this does bring in the question of like, okay, so we're gonna get another Bruce Wayne. So now we have 3 Bruce Waynes.
The more the merrier, right?
In we have Robert Pattinson, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and then whoever her Bruce Wayne's gonna be. Okay.
4 Bruce Waynes, and we're gonna have the same Spider-Man meme where they all point at each other like what? They're all gonna try to outbuy each other somehow. It's like, oh well, I bought your Enterprise. Well, I bought yours.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe her Bruce Wayne will be a crocodile.
Yeah, there you go. Right, a little crocodile and a Cape and Cow. That'd be amazing. Oh no, it's Ace. There you go.
Ooh.
It's just Bat Dog.
Yes.
That'd be pretty cool to have. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if they go that other route. Like, hey, this is a whole nother universe. And are they going to expand on their multiverse? Because I remember it was DC that really confirmed that, hey, all our movies exist within a multiverse. You know, at that Disney fandom, they're like, hey, you know, this is Earth 11 whatever, you know, Earth 666, Earth whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So even all those CW shows are existing in a certain Earth, you know. And so are they going to continue to build on that? And this could be another separate Earth, you know. I would like for them to expand on their existing ones, but if they want to keep making more to try to compete with Marvel, because that's what it seems like they're trying to do, is like a catch-up game, which it didn't work for them in the past. I think Batman vs Superman was a catch-up game for Civil War, but if they want to make another universe, this could be their gateway into it, which is a solo Batgirl movie. Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, I think they might cast another Bruce Wayne. Why not? Or they might go like, oh, we will tease him, like he's there, his presence is there, or like Batman's busy with the Justice League or something.
Yeah.
So he's never in Gotham. So that'd be pretty cool. I hope they lead to like Birds of Prey or something. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool if they built
Hunters
that. Yeah.
Comes in maybe. That'd be yeah. I hope it's like something like a Gotham City Sirens a little bit, where it's focusing on the women of Gotham, bad and good.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool to see, or kind of like build up in this movie. So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, man. We'll move on to the next one.
I'm a little more excited for that. Thinking about it now.
Who knows? Yeah, it could be cool. As like I said, as long as they take the Joker out. But moving on to the kind of obscure movie. Not obscure movie, but something that...
Oh, okay. I looked at it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they look like Muppets. Like, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, Jackass.
There's the Muppets. They should make a Jackass Muppets parody. That'd be awesome.
Right? That'd be awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
But so this trailer came out this week, and this movie also comes out in October, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe it's the same day as Dune. I could be wrong.
No way, really? I'm gonna look it up.
October 22nd.
I'm gonna look it up.
For I think Jackass as well. That'd be crazy. Talk about hitting the nostalgia factor again. It's a recurring theme, of course.
Oh, it is. It comes out the same day.
There you go.
It comes out the same day.
That is awesome. Before it was gonna be Batman versus Dune. Now it's Jackass
versus Dune.
Who would have thought, man? Who would have predicted? That's hilarious.
But so, what did you think of the trailer? By the way, your reaction to the trailer is on
my channel.
Is on your channel, which it's linked in the description, guys. Please go subscribe to his channel. He has great content. And then also, too, if you enjoy the show and if you like to be nerdy and all the movie news and you like to come back and enjoy the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you're notified whenever we post videos.
Man, so professional. That was beautiful. But regarding the Jackass trailer, it was lovely. It was like a nice little packed gift given to you, like, hey guys, remember us? Like, here's a gift from your childhood.
Yes.
Nowhere near as epic as the Dune trailer. I'm sorry to start comparing, but we're talking about trailers. I did like how it started off with the past footage, showing us memorable moments from the old films, kind of like, hey, we're coming back, you know. Mm-hmm. One more time, one last round. It is kind of bittersweet not to see some recurring faces, of course, you know.
Yeah, but there's some drama. There's some drama around this movie, but
the show must go on. And I love how they're back and in full gear.
Yeah, doing it one more time. I'm telling you, dude, in the trailer, bro, like you're seeing like Johnny Knoxville like get hit like the bull hits that he used to. Dude, that's crazy to me. That at almost 50, he's still taking these huge hits, man.
Very true. And that was one of the things, like, selfishly as a viewer, that was one of the things I was worried about, that if Steve-O or Knoxville wasn't going to participate as much in the stunts anymore, and they're going to let the new guys do everything that's crazy, you know, because that would take away from it a little bit. Like, it's like you go into a Jackass movie, you want to see them do it, you know, you want to see them get really crazy like they did in the past, but it's also understandable because these guys went through so much. But yeah, it's like, but to see the Knoxville still in there, and even them pointing out that, hey, yeah, he's 49, he's still taking hits. That was pretty hype to see for a Jackass movie. Like, you got to go back and see it, man, because he's given, that's how dedicated he is to entertain us like the old days, and that's just something very admirable about that.
Now, I wonder, do you think this is a franchise that's gonna end here, or do you think that they're gonna recruit new guys and this is gonna spawn more sequels?
They could recruit new guys and do like a streaming service exclusive show, like a series, kind of like a revamp. Like, oh, you saw our movie, we're gonna revamp our show now, but it's all these new guys, and it's like they're training them to be jackasses and stuff like that. So that would be very wise.
Isn't that kind of what the trailer seemed like they were doing?
A little bit, now that I say that out loud and you made that connection, and now it does. I didn't get that when I first watched the trailer, but yeah, that I would not be too surprised if that was a lot of that training moment in this new film. But yeah, if they want to carry that on to like a series, like a revival on whatever streaming service they want, maybe Netflix, because Netflix needs something on there. But if they want to continue on, I don't think like a whole other movie with the original cast. I feel like this is when Knoxville and maybe like some of the alum will step back and be like, all right, let's see what they got. Let's see what we can put them through. Yeah. You know? So I think, yeah, if they want to go on, they can. Or this could be the last ride, one last rodeo, and then we're out. One
last rodeo. But anyways, I'm looking forward to this movie, and yeah, we'll keep moving on. Boom. All right. Now we get to talk about the thumbnail. We're finally there.
Yes, finally.
So it has been rumored. Well, not rumored. I mean, she's officially cast. So this is Michaela Cole. Michaela Cole. She's a writer, director, and actor, which I didn't know this before I did research for the show. I didn't realize that she won or was nominated for Emmys.
Oh wow!
She produced her own. She produced her own show, and it got nominated. I'm trying to see the.
What show was it?
Oh, I'm trying to remember what it is. Let me give a second and look it up.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how they got a writer, director, actor. It's pretty awesome. Triple Threat. That was good.
Looks like her show is called I May Destroy You. It's on HBO Max. And apparently, I do know what it's about. So apparently, she's one of the people that, like, she wasn't getting cast in roles and she wasn't getting jobs. So she basically just decided, okay, I'm going to write my own thing and I'm going to star in my own thing and I'm going to direct my own thing.
Nice.
Which is what a lot of people are doing nowadays. If you're not getting casts and stuff, if you're not getting the roles you want, if you're not getting the jobs you want, then you go and you create things. And then obviously, if you're a great storyteller, the industry has no choice but to pay attention. It's just the truth. If you're that stellar, if you're that killer. So the fact that, I mean, her show got nominated for Emmys. I don't know if she won any or not, but apparently the show was about her experience with sexual assault. And so it's pretty heavy subject matter. I heard that, like, it's really hard to watch, but she did a fantastic job in it. So
I don't know why, but when I looked it up, I just felt like it was a comedy. I didn't read anything on it, but I'm like, is this a comedy? I feel like she looks like a comedy writer, director, and actor. And then you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, that's polar opposite. I'm like, all right, but yeah, man, that's awesome, to do dramatic roles like that. I think a lot of comedy actors could do dramatic roles, obviously.
Definitely.
There's darkness in comedy, of course, so I think they can transition well. I think it could do vice versa sometimes.
So
but yeah, I'm really excited to see who she plays officially.
So it's officially announced she is cast in Black Panther 2, Wakanda. It's officially titled Wakanda Forever. And there's speculation on who she's going to play. Now, I heard a rumor, and this is just rumor, that apparently from a couple sources out there on the internet, that the new Black Panther is going to be a female.
Ooh, nice.
But it's not going to be it's not going to be Shuri. It's not going to be Okoye. It's going to be a completely new female that we've never met before. I don't know if that's a variant or what that'll be.
Oh, yeah,
but
maybe.
Apparently those are the rumors. So there's two rumors. One, she's our new Black Panther. Or two, some people think that she's going to be our Storm in the MCU.
What if it's Storm as Black Panther?
What a way to introduce Storm into the... Can you believe that?
Right?
That'd be nuts.
She was the Queen of Wakanda.
That'd be crazy. I'd
Panther.
actually be down for that. In some crazy world, I would not hate that. I'd be like, okay.
Her suit has to be incorporated with electricity, like vibranium or something like that.
Right. And also too, we have to realize that after Loki, moving forward, we don't know, just like we got the TVA thing at the end, which was a completely different TVA than we'd seen.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we have no idea what universe any of these movies belong to anymore. So, Shang-Chi that's coming out, where does that take place? What universe does that take place in? Eternals, is that its own separate universe?
Could explain why they never interfered, with Infinity Saga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with Wakanda Forever. Same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. Are these completely different universes that we're hopping into and without even realizing it? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like they took their toy box and just emptied it on the ground.
Yes.
You don't know where everything goes, and just people are crossed over, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with it. It's hilarious.
Kevin Feige did say that he has a whiteboard. He was interviewed, and he said before in the Infinity Saga they didn't have a whiteboard, but now that they're starting to do all the multiverse stuff, he's like, we have a whiteboard now. And apparently, well, this is fact. He got all of the creative teams, all the writers, all the directors, everybody at Marvel Studios. He had a meeting with all of them and sat them down and gave them all the rules of the multiverse and said, okay, this is how it all works. This is what you can do and what you can't do.
Interesting.
And so it's important to have somebody like that, man, at the top who can tell you what to do and what you can and what you can't do.
Especially going somewhere that's so chaotic. Like you can go even creative-wise. It's hard to very narrow where to go from point A to point. There still needs to be a point A to point B to C,
Right.
Even though there's so many possibilities for so much, So yeah, like you said, to have that head director really guide the ship through this whole multiversal storytelling, it's needed, and I would love to hear what the restrictions are, like what can't you do and how crazy can you get,
I'm sure we'll get those stories, man. I can't wait to hear all the different possibilities that we could have got, and it's like, nope, that didn't happen, and all sorts.
I'm pretty sure one of the restrictions is no DC, no WB stuff. and then in parentheses next to the X parentheses, not yet. ...
Not yet.
If anyone sees this board, if this board gets out, you're fired immediately.
Exactly. ... We need to wait for them to catch up.
Right.
Burn. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm excited. She seems, again, I haven't seen the show, so I don't really have anything. I can't base anything off of anything other than cool. Like, she's in it. She seems like a strong character. Maybe she gets to direct a Marvel property in the future. That'd be cool too. And all the power to her.
And I wonder if she'll have some creative input even in Black Panther.
Oh, of course.
If she is going to be the variant of Black Panther, she's going to play, how much input is she going to have in that?
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting to see as well.
So, very exciting. Move on to the next topic. Whoops. Well, okay, we'll go with this one. That's fine. Nope. So this is the new film from Jordan Peele. It's coming out a year from now.
Nice.
Right?
Very nice. Guess I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah. So obviously I'm a fan of Jordan Peele.
I am too.
Yes.
I like his first two movies. Very original. He knows he's having fun with himself, man, and he's telling stories he wants to tell, and I can't help but admire that, That's what I saw in Get Out and Us. So this one looks fun.
This is all we know. There's no synopsis, there's no nothing. It's just called Nope, and it looks like it looks like a carnival. If you zoom in, it looks like there's like some sort of carnival going on, and then there's like a cloud above that, and then it looks like not the streamers, but like I don't know what it's called, like the rope that has the colorful triangles on it or whatever that you see at like fairgrounds and stuff like that. That's what it looks to be attached to the cloud. So we have no idea what this is about, but
I honestly thought this was aliens. I thought that was like a tentacle coming down, and that was a little town that it's like, and then the cloud is a UFO disguising itself as. And I thought, oh, is he doing aliens now? Awesome. I was like, let's do it.
Hey, it could be. It could be aliens. I mean, we do see space though. There is space in the poster, so.
Right. Very big emphasis on the stars and shit. In the sky. I feel like the sky is going to play a big theme maybe in this movie.
Yeah.
Because the skies take up literally half the poster.
Exactly.
So they have to be like, oh, there's hidden messages in skies, and skies move, and there's creatures in the skies, and this is whatever. Like the tunnel thing in Us, like, oh, everything below ground and underneath the surface. So I think they might play with that a little bit. It
looks like it is going to be a horror film, or like, some sort of darker film, because a thriller, because the poster does say a new terror from the mind of Jordan Peele. So we definitely know the genre, because I thought to myself, I'm like, because obviously he can do comedy too, so I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, is it going to be kind of a comedy? Like, is he going to switch it up on us a little bit? But
and the poster kind of looks like that too, like the font and everything, and even like a little bit of the color scheme too. It looks bright in a way, like it's a pretty bright poster for a horror movie. Even the font and everything. It's like, no, starring so and so, from Jordan Peele. The new laugh from Jordan Peele. That's what it looked like, the font and everything.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. And plus, he's not, he adds comedy in his horror movies. There's funny moments in there as well. So pretty sure they're going to be in here too.
So looking forward to that. We'll be definitely keeping tabs on that movie.
Very much so.
Moving on.
Oh, and it said some sequences were shot in IMAX too.
Ooh.
So that's pretty cool.
The whole thing should be shot in IMAX. Christopher Nolan. Moving on to the last duel.
Adam Driver.
This is, of course, our boy Adam Driver in a night suit. Looks incredible. This is so the last duel. I will bring up the synopsis. Did you catch the trailer or no?
I did not see the trailer, but I know what it's about. Synopsis.
Yeah, it says a woman claims she's been raped by her husband's best friend, Jean. I can't say that name. But when no one believes her accusation, her husband challenges his friend to a duel. The last legally sanctioned duel in the country's history.
Yep. And I know that Matt Damon, I think, is playing the rapist character, the one that rapes the wife. And I believe Adam Driver might be playing the husband. Could be wrong on that, but I believe so. And so it's interesting to know that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon penned the screenplay for this. They both wrote it with a third writer. And it'd be very interesting to see what kind of story they're telling with this certain time period, because I think they're trying to aim for the Oscars with this one. Obviously Adam Driver's a great actor, and they're going to want to get a great performance out of him. And plus, he's nominated. I don't know if he was nominated a few times, but I know he was definitely nominated. For Black Kingsman. Not Black Kingsman.
Oh,
I'm thinking what Black Klansman. Sorry. Spike Lee's Black Klansman, and Marriage Story. So he's already been nominated twice, but hasn't won.
Exactly.
He's still swinging. So I think Affleck and Damon are like, okay, let's try to get him that win.
Let's get you the win.
I think this is what this movie is.
Very well could be.
Should be good.
I didn't realize that it's directed by Ridley Scott.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
For a Gladiator epic.
Oh, I didn't know, dude. That's a powerhouse team, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is definitely
aiming for Oscars for sure.
This is definitely this looked really good. This and Dune.
The trailer.
Yeah. It looked awesome. Now this I saw this before I saw Dune trailer. This was a very good trailer. I was like, wow, this is. But the Dune takes the cake. I mean, Dune by far, like I said, could be the best trailer of the year, no doubt. But this movie looks really good. We are definitely spoiled with some good movies, man. Some really good stuff coming down.
Yeah,
down the pipeline.
2019 was a great movie. It was a great year for movies.
Yeah.
And then everything came to the halt. So they're coming back hard.
Dude, I'm so excited. This looked so cool. How do you feel about period pieces like this? Do you like that genre? Are you a fan?
Yeah, I mean, if it's done well, obviously if it's done really well, the historical inaccuracies go right over my head. Like Schindler's List, why are they speaking English if it's all supposed to be in German, But that I was not bothered by it. The story and the performances drove me away from that,
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, holy crap! Like what they're trying to tell here is heart-wrenching, and I cannot overlook that whatsoever. So if it's done right, man, it's done real well, I love them. But there's obviously those cheap ones out there, and the ones that try to like cash in on the fact that this is a Johnny Cash movie, or this is a so-and-so movie, come and watch it. Like a lot of people try to do Kurt Cobain. Like I know there's a lot of like small budget independent films that are about Kurt Cobain in some way.
I didn't even know that.
Never really like fully hits, because it's a very kind of like sensitive topic to do. It kind of pretty recent a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like that one's not really hitting. So if it's done right, again, like proper direction, the big enough budget, it needs to be done right. What I really don't really admire was like what was it, the Freddie Mercury one, Bohemian Rhapsody. I know everyone loved Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff, but I noticed there was like some inaccuracies there and a lot of trauma that happened. Not trauma, like a lot of drama that happened on set due to the director Bryan Singer. Like I heard like, he walked off set, didn't return after a long vacation, this and this and that.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh come on, it's like where's the good movie at? Like where's that cohesive storytelling you wanted to tell?
Yeah.
So certain movies like that want to retell like biopics and period pieces, done well, I'm all for it. It's not like a genre I stray away from entirely. If it's good premise, like this has a good premise. Last Duel, something so fiction. It's like we only seen that like in medieval stories, dueling on a horse. So this is like the last time it's ever happened in history, apparently. No.
Yeah. It was based.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And man, I'm excited for the reuniting of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon as a writing duo. I think that's going to be awesome.
And I think they're in it too. They're both
awesome. They're both in it. Yep. You got if you watch the trailer, you get to see Ben Affleck in like this blonde bowl cut with this blonde goatee. It's really strange, but like by the time he shows up in the trailer, you've kind of like they've set the world. So you're like he pops up and you're like, oh, that's kind of jarring, but you're in the world already. You're like, okay, like I see Adam Driver like looking very great, so I'm in. Like,
yeah,
they sell you, and then it's like, oh, Ben Affleck in a blonde bowl cut. That looks a little strange.
You didn't need to show us that. But okay.
But it's like, all right, I'm here. That's okay. We can overlook that.
You got me already. You got me already. That's hilarious. I need to watch the trailer now. Like, I'm really interested to see how that is.
Oh, apparently, Jodie Comer is the wife, I think. And Alicia says that she's in the show Killing Eve, which I don't watch. I don't watch a lot of TV, man. I don't have time to watch TV shows.
Except for it's Loki. If it's Loki, you're watching.
If it's Loki, I'll watch it. Yeah, there are some really great TV shows, dude, that I have just slept on that I need to, I need to watch. But
I always start shows, but then never carry on with them if they get a season 2. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I got to get that again, to watch it.
For sure. But when does this come out? This comes out.
Did not see it. Why do I feel like this is a November movie?
October. Another October movie.
October. Wow.
October 15th.
October's going to be the month.
Dude, October is going to be... That's a good birthday month, man. I'm cool with that. Jackass, The Last Duel, and Dune. It's not a bad... That's like a whole week right there.
That honestly sounds like a summer lineup for film.
Yes, I agree.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, this, I don't know, is this like Dune, obviously, and Jackass obviously seem like summer movies, but this doesn't seem like a summer movie. This almost seems like a Christmas movie or like a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah. Very, very true. Like an epic at the end of the year. To tie it all up, and just in time for award season as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And in our last topic of the evening, obviously they announced earlier this week that Kevin Smith is working on Clerks 3.
Numero tres.
Clerks 3
is officially now a trilogy.
The king of... Yeah, they start shooting it... let's see. When did they start shooting it? Let's see. They're filming in New Jersey, and they're going to start filming sometime soon.
It's going to be like Mallrats. He announces it, and he never follows up with it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Mallrats movie, but...
Yeah, it's just like they just stopped saying everything that was happening on it, and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, by the way, Clerks 3 is coming out. Get excited. I'm like, oh, okay.
But yeah, it looks like they partnered up with Lionsgate. So Lionsgate is going to distribute the movie.
Nice.
I don't know if Mallrats... Is Mallrats independently funded?
No. No, that's when he finally got with Miramax back in the day.
I'm talking about the new one. Did they?
The new one?
Did they find distribution?
Funded. I think that was independently funded.
Okay. So
yeah, I don't think there's any distribution for it.
Gotcha. So this one definitely, if they're linked up with Lionsgate for distribution, then this one's probably going to happen. The new Mallrats, I don't know. Yeah, I thought they were shooting that, but
more time in the oven to cook. All good. Perfection. but I'm excited for this Clerks 3. Pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully they go back to some old in it'd be cool if it was all in black and white.
Right, that'd be cool. Very cool. Or like, yeah, or maybe if they want to like very like visually do like a cohesive thing, like at the beginning of the movie's color and then it goes into black and white for some reason.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way it goes into black and white, maybe like a realization or something. But that would be really cool. Then of course they have all the prices end in 5s. That's like a classic thing to have. It's very eerie, you know? It's like,
yes.
That'd be pretty cool to have all the classic Easter eggs back, you know, like in the background and everything. It'd be pretty cool.
I'm trying to see if they have a release date.
Did you see on his Instagram, Kevin Smith's Instagram, that he took a photo of like the top page of the Clerks 3 script that he was working on? And it said it's going to open up with, I don't know if it's like a trailer or if it's the movie itself that he's going to open up with, but it's a My Chemical Romance song, Black Parade. Welcome to Black Parade.
Oh, wow.
He's going to use that song as like an opening, like sunrise, because the description's like sunrise rises behind the store, the Clerk store, and it like shines a light on them and it reveals like it now today opened and shit like that.
Oh, cool.
Like, oh, that's very interesting. You know, it's like he just revealed that little snippet of his script on his Instagram. I think it's still there if you just scroll through back enough, but it was pretty interesting to see that he was writing it back then. So to hear that it's finally coming out and like getting distributed, it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the film, and obviously, you know, him and Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, like just the early independent filmmakers, you know, the people that really like kind of just changed the game for a lot of us. And I know we grew up on a lot of their movies. And so it's great to see them come back, specifically Kevin Smith. I think it's, you know, obviously he's got the He-Man Netflix show that just came out or is coming out or something like that very soon.
I think it is coming out.
Yeah. So it's great to see him make movies. And, while not all of his movies have been hits for me,
his recent horror movies were like really out there. He was just fucking around. Like, those are fuck around movies. That's like Kill Like Can movies, you know? It's like he's having fun with that, you know? So that's hilarious. I still want to see Moose Jaws, which is the third film in that horror trilogy. It's supposed to be a horror. It says Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and then it's supposed to be Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws.
And that's literally it's the movie Jaws, but with a killer moose, and it's in the woods. So that's what that is. And I heard Jane Silent Bob was supposed to be in it. So it would be interesting to see if he does anything with that. And maybe Clerks 3 leads into that. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
He could do whatever he wants. These are his... I like how he created his own little world, too. Like
yes.
In his movie. Very cool.
He knew what cinematic universe was before anybody.
Yeah. So he was ahead of the game. It's probably like he wishes he was at Marvel. Like, dude, I can pioneer this. Like, come on. Like, you know?
Come on. Kevin
But it's so
Feige,
cool to-
Kevin Smith team up. Come on.
Kevin and Kevin, right? A K&K Productions.
The
There you
two
go.
Kevins,
That'd be
man,
so awesome.
coming at it.
Right, like what if the Clerks existed in the Marvel universe?
They very well could. I'm sure he's having meetings right now with Kevin Feige. Hey,
Right.
so as a marketing thing, can we put my universe in your universe? It would work perfectly.
I know they did that back in the day with Miramax. Like I think Jay and Silent Bob was in Scream 3, I believe.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
I think that was the one in Hollywood, and they had a little cameo in there. So people are like, "Oh, they're in the Scream universe." That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Alicia says that her favorite was Dogma.
Dogma was awesome.
She also
Yeah.
loved Tusk. It was ridiculous. And I'm addicted to when I was addicted to it when it first came out. Yeah, no, I think Dogma is probably his best film, if you ask me.
True, it is a great film. I think his other religious film is good. Red State, not a comedy.
I
but-
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I that's my personal favorite Kevin Smith film is that one because he really like surprised me with that one. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I was like, wow, this is Kevin Smith. It's like, holy crap, I'm still waiting for like another film that he does to be like that.
Yeah.
Very dramatic and gritty and dark, kind of messed up and morbid. Like, holy crap, dude, you have a dark side, and I love it. Let's get more of that, you know.
But
But yeah, Dogma was awesome. Him and religion. It was interesting because I did my case study on him for a producer.
oh,
producer
nice,
and development class.
nice.
I did my case study on him, and I saw that he wrote Dogma, the script for Dogma, in Catholic school. He was in private school, and he during his time there, he just came up with the story. And that's like basically like a kid's story. A kid came up with that in private school. I thought that was just hilarious, you know.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's going to be the end of our show tonight, guys. I want to thank everybody that joined in on the show. Obviously, every Thursday at 8:30, we do the rendered image. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hopefully, you guys learned a bunch of new stuff. Hopefully, you guys got to see some new trailers that you didn't know were out there and you didn't know existed. That's kind of the goal of the show, is to, be nerdy and have fun talking about movies. And if we can be a source where you guys can learn more about filmmaking or two, and that's the goal for the show. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel because it helps out. Lets the YouTube know that people are enjoying the content. I enjoy doing the show every week. I look forward to it. This is the stuff that I love to talk about and I love to do, and the industry that I love to be a part of. So thank you guys so much. You can check out Christian's links below. Definitely go subscribe to his channel. Check out his reaction to Dune, because he shows you his goosebumps. And
I really had.
I did too. I was like, oh. So
It left me speechless, man. I was like, ah.
oh, dude,
I didn't know
it's
what to say.
such a great trailer. And like the chorus, or the a cappella chorus thing that was going on,
Yeah.
the music at the end of the trailer, brilliant, dude, brilliant.
Chills.
So good, so good. Yeah, Denis Villeneuve can do no wrong. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're gonna sign off now, so have a good night, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.